here's some really quick things that will get you, thinking about practicing more and just wanting to do it more and making it more regular. Okay. So the first thing is, even if you can only practice for like 5 minutes a day, it's better than nothing. Because we learn through repetition. It's not really the amount of time that we put in, it's how we spend that time and how it's divvied up. And even if you only have 5 minutes a day to do something, you can do it. Even if you only have 30 seconds to play a few chords, do it. That the repetition is going to be way more beneficial over the course of, let's say, a week than 5 minutes a day is going to be much more effective given what you're practicing than sitting and practicing for like an hour or 2 hours a day. I mean, one day out of the week. It's just like trying to cram for a test or something like that. It's same principle. So that's number one. The other thing is actually keeping yourself focused on not just playing things that you're comfortable with or playing. Anytime that happens, go, wait a minute, this is practice time, this is not playing time. You can make playing time for yourself, but when you're practicing, you're going to be practicing things that you specifically need to improve on, and not just stuff you already know or whatever. And I mean, you can make things you already know a part of your regimen as long as you're just trying to make them better or refine them in some way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you want to, regardless of what you're doing, you want to ask yourself, am I practicing right now? Is this leading me somewhere? Am I improving on something, or am I just doing the same crap? Another thing is, just knowing, having something in mind, or having some kind of schedule of what you're going to practice before you actually sit down and practice. Because if you spend 5 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to practice, your 5 minutes is gone. And if you can practice, 20 to 30 minutes a day, you can even take that time and, have different 10-minute intervals throughout the day if you wanted to, or different 5-minute intervals where you're going, I'm going to practice for 5 minutes 6 times during the day.
And that part's a big reason I'm considering looking to do some lessons on, what do I practice?
Hard
to plan out.
We'll talk about that here in a moment as well. But these are just general concepts that doesn't really matter what you're practicing. This stuff is going to be the same no matter what you're doing. So anyway, I'll tell you what. There's more that we can talk about that, but let's go back to specifically some of your challenges, and I'll talk about how you can actually work on those things and some different practice strategies for that stuff. So the first thing, the number one was talking about practice. You said something about, I'm kind of confused about what you meant.
Trying to come specific. The practice was the
well, hang on a second. So you had alternating bass runs and strumming accurately. Is there something specific in mind that you've been working on?
Yeah, I was working on a December song. So it's like going between a bass drum and then just a one note and then a strum and then kind of up and down on the bass.
Okay, well,
type of thing.
Show me real quick.
This was a. The top string I'm better at than trying to get accurately to just hit an individual string.
What's the problem? That sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it was hitting some of the
I've never actually heard the
second
song, so
third
I don't know what
notes.
it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, I guess getting cleanly hitting some of the bass notes. I don't always get. I'm not sure. Go back and forth between kind of having a finger anchor to keep track of where I am, and that's just the looser motion. Because I hit the wrong string, I guess.
Okay. So, how to play that with more accuracy? That's what you're asking.
Yeah. What technique is best for?
Okay. Well, it's really going to depend on a few things. First off, you have these chords. I don't have a capo, so I'm just gonna play it.
Sure.
Are you asking how to just okay? Well, with accuracy in anything that you do, you need to slow it down and see where where are the problems. So first off, what are the problems that you're noticing when you play? What's just repeat that one more time.
So say that the bass note goes to the second string. I don't know, what the fifth and second.
And you're just saying the lowest note of the string. You're kind of playing that first.
Yeah, there's a part where it comes down and like off the C, and then the bass is in the second string, and I'll catch part of the first one, or I'll hit the wrong. If I stare at it, I can do it, or just feel like I'm sometimes constricting the strum maybe to keep track of where I am spatially or with the string. But I've gotten better at that one. If I stare at the string, it helps. But
okay, so
there's more feel to it where you're not just staring at the string away.
Well, one of the things you can do is just, like I said, slowing it down, because everything that we do with our hands, it's all muscle memory. It's all, you're ingraining these motions in your hands, and accuracy is not, or whether you're trying to get more accurate, or you're trying to build speed or whatever. It's not determined by moving your hands faster or anything like that. It's just refining, your technique to a certain point. Now, with that, what I would focus on is if you can play it slowly and not miss the strings. So I don't know what the exact chords were.
Right, but just
okay,
do it the right way, slowly, and then build
I mean, even taking that. Here's what you do. Take that and play it so slow that you cannot fail. That's what I like to tell people. Whatever you're doing, it's supposed to be, like 30 to 40% of whatever the speed is, but that's what I like to say. It's just so slow that you cannot fail. And if you have some kind of metronome where you can tap your foot where it's a constant beat, you want to focus on a couple different things. You have what's called articulation, which is just how hard you're picking the strings, and then you have what's called two-hand synchronization, which is just making sure that your fingers and your fingers are hitting the frets and you're picking the strings at the right time. So one thing you can do just for speed is to just practice, even for like 10 or 15 minutes a day, or however long you have. Practice the riff so slow that you cannot fail. Play it 3 times consecutively, and then you want to, when you're playing slowly, you want to focus on what are the things that where's the disconnect, and really taking the time to make sure that you're relaxed while you're playing it, that everything's kind of efficient. Everything's where you would want it to be if you were playing it fast, basically. Okay, now once you do that, basically what you're doing is you're programming your hands, and you can, if you want to, you can not look at the guitar. You can, but you want to be mindful of everything that you're doing, because by playing it slowly, you actually have the time. Your brain isn't trying to jump like, oh wait, what's going on here? Well, it actually has time to notice what's going on, where the problems are, where's the disconnect. And so, just by practicing that, like I said, 5 minutes really slowly, and then trying to bring it back up to speed, you'll immediately notice a difference in your accuracy. Now, if you keep doing that, you're just going to keep piling on more results from that. You're just going to become more and more accurate. So that's a really general concept, and can be applied in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of accuracy and speed building strategies that you can use, but that's the core concept: is play it slowly. Look, you can actually see where the problems are, and you need to ingrain that muscle memory for a certain amount of time before you jump back up. And when you do, go back to your normal speed. it'll be more accurate, it'll feel more comfortable, it'll be more relaxed, but you have to have that step in there. And I can elaborate on that more, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of a choice. We can talk more about that, and I can actually show you how to do that real quick, or we can talk more about strumming and singing, and also about creating melodies. You have, kind of a few things there. But where would you like to go? Would you like more help with this practice stuff?
I think that'll be a good idea to work with. Let's maybe talk about the melody around the chord. I mean, I hear people playing, and so I guess there's a melody, but maybe it's not a straight melody, but you catch enough of the highlights where you know that's the melody part, and then.
Are you saying an actual just within one guitar playing?
Yeah.
The melody within the chords? Is that what you're asking about? Okay. Well, this is what's called voice leading. And basically, a voice is just a note or something that's creating a sound or whatever. And when you're playing these chords, okay, well, you have these different notes that are moving around. Obviously, you can see this note goes down, so you have just that one movement there. Okay, well, you have all these other notes going on. And one of those chords one more time.
Just